The Dig podcast is a podcast that focuses on business life and all things social media. It's a place of learning and one where you can take away actionable tips that you can put into practice straight away in your business. I hope it inspires you to reach your goals and never give up on that dream. Hello everyone and welcome to today's podcast. The podcast today is a little bit different. It's back to just me again. I wanted to take this time just to reflect on the last 10 podcasts that we've recorded and kind of take stock and prepare for what's coming. As I sit here today, we are in the midst of preparation for stepping out of lockdown. There's just been announcements at the weekend that restrictions are easing, and in the weekend ahead, the hair and beauty industry will start to open, non-essential retail will start to open, and hospitality are making plans to open very soon. So it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time as a individual to think about actually getting to embrace these businesses again as a consumer and a customer, but it's also such an exciting time for businesses. But I'm also aware that it's also a time of uncertainty and a time that businesses are perhaps excited about but nervous about. So I just wanted to take time to acknowledge that today in the podcast and say that I will, and I know a lot of other mentors and businesses in my field will be doing everything we can to try and help and support businesses during this time, because we know, and I know as well from my own experience, what this would feel like right now. A mixed bag of emotions. But the Dig podcast is definitely it's turning into what I wanted it to be, a tool to help businesses, a resource for them to learn things, to get actionable tips that they can put into practice straight away. And that was always my vision for the podcast, and I'm so glad that's what it's turned into. Over the last 10 podcasts, we have had now we're approaching 12,000 downloads. So that's 12,000 people have listened to the podcast and have received, I hope, some value from it. The fact the numbers are rising shows that that is definitely the case. So my mission is complete in that respect. But my goal is still to bring you amazing guests. Over the last 10, you've had every topic covered, from social media to e-commerce to building your brand to, different platforms and Facebook and Instagram. And we continue to cover all those as we move forward, but different kind of spin on each one. So the podcasts that are coming up, I just want to let you know that the next 11, sorry, this is number 11. So up until number 20, we'll definitely have a theme around moving out of lockdown, making plans for growing your business, for embracing the new world we live in, which is definitely an online world now, as well as, the bricks and mortar and the face-to-face. But it's definitely a combination of everything. And I think that the podcasts and the speakers which I have to come will definitely prepare you and take you through that journey and learn you new things about kind of what lies ahead. So I'm excited for the guests which are to come. I know you're going to love every single one of them, because I have loved and learned so much from chatting to the ones we've already recorded. So yeah, navigating our way out of lockdown is definitely the theme, but also there's definitely a different feel for the podcasts, guests, and the podcast, the way it's laid out going forward. I always wanted this to be a place where people could gain new business, and whether that be the speaker or the sponsor, when you speak and when you put a voice to your brand and business, or when people hear about it, that's an opportunity. And with the more downloads that comes, the more opportunity there is for people to hear about your business. So in the next few podcasts, up to podcast 20, we have opened up the podcast to other business owners to pitch their business to you guys, to let them hear exactly what you do and how they can find you. And your pitch is so important. And I've worked with some of the businesses that actually are pitching, and you'll hear them over the next few podcasts on how to pitch. And pitching isn't easy, especially for us, as Irish businesses. We sometimes, and people, we don't like to say how good we are, but we are the best in our field. We believe we are, or we wouldn't be doing what we do. So it's up to us as business owners to get that across to our audience and our customer. So I've been working with them, helping them to, how to pitch and what's the best things to say, and, your unique selling points, and making sure you have social media handles in there and your websites in there and everything within like a 1.5 minutes. So you're going to be hearing as you go along these businesses pitch to you guys. And, if you're interested in them, go give them a follow and listen to what they're saying about why they started their business and why they're the best they can be. And if it's something that interests you, go follow them on social, and you never know when you might become a customer. And that's the way it works. That's the way of the world. So I'm excited for you to hear about all the businesses that are sponsoring each podcast. It's an exciting opportunity for them, and also nice for you guys to hear about their business. Today, I just want to this isn't a long podcast. It's just one to kind of prepare for the ones ahead and reflect on the ones that's gone by. But I just want to give my 3 top tips for businesses that are stepping out of lockdown. So yes, we have been in a situation for the past few months and year and 18 months where some businesses have been closed for the majority of that, and they have had to embrace the virtual world, embrace the online space, even when they didn't want to, even when they felt their customer was face-to-face and not an online customer. I believe in the feedback that I've had from businesses that they've now majority realized that their customer is online, is listening to what they say, is engaging with what they do and the content that they're putting out. So a lot of businesses have converted their mindset, and that's the first hurdle, I think, converting your mind into knowing, changing your mindset into knowing that your customer actually is everywhere, whether it be face-to-face in your store, in your salon, in your hotel. They're actually online as well, consuming content. So I believe you should be there giving them content about your business. And I think so many businesses have embraced that. So as we ease out of lockdown, I have some tips for you from me. My first one is, I'll start off with the tip: don't forget about your new online audience. So you will now be moving into the next few weeks and months where you're going to be crazy busy. I know you will be. And there is the, not temptation, but you will probably feel like you do not have the time now to be as active on social. I urge you to find new ways to still embrace that audience that you have nurtured and that you have built up during lockdown. These guys have been there for you and supported you all through this time. Do not forget about them. Do not lose them as customers, as an audience, because they are what will support you when, God forbid, this might happen again. Or I hopefully not, touch wood, but no one, who would have ever thought we would have this situation? So no one knows the hurdles that lie ahead for us in business. And if you continue to engage and nurture that audience you've built up, at least you have that outlet there if something else comes up. So, or if you need to change your business model to just being online, you haven't forgot about your customer. So I can hear all the hairdressers and beauticians and retail staff saying to me, but it's going to be like Christmas for the next few weeks and months because we're going to be so busy, the backlog or whatever. I urge you to find a way. Whether it be reaching out on social to see if there are students that want to come on board to try and create social content for you, reaching out to your local tech or college to see is there any placement students available that would like to come on board to try and create content for you, whether it be someone in your salon or in your shop that maybe isn't busy all of the time, making it their job to create content. So that's my first tip, is don't forget about this amazing audience you've built up during social. No matter how hard you might find it to be to try and do both, you have to find a way. And I stress that. I can't stress that enough. How do you find a way? This is my next tip. And I kind of had started to talk about it there. Have a team meeting. So whether it's with yourself, if you're self-employed and no one else, sit down and work out a strategy, or whether it be with a group of people, whether there's only 2 of you in the business or there's 5 of you in the business. I urge you, whether the team meeting happens over Zoom before you start, before you open on Friday, if you have a team meeting on Thursday, when you open on Friday and you get the feel of things, it's a team meeting very soon after you open to get everyone on the same wavelength. My experience in retail, such a busy setting, I'm talking about retail here, but you can turn this into any industry that you're in, you know, you often forget about that team meeting and that team bonding that is so essential, especially when you now have all these strings to your bow. Is that the right way to say it? All these different avenues and all the audiences in loads of different places, and your customer, you need to have a meeting to see how to navigate that. So call your team together, tell them the plans for face-to-face, but also how do you still want to engage with your customer? Because I believe that if your team are all on board with what's in your head, the plan rolls out in a much smoother way. So yes, you can have a very busy mind and have all these ideas, which is kind of the way I was in my business in years gone by. And I never vocalized it to the team. I would be very stressed, very busy, very, very active mind with ideas and plans, but I never got it out there until, you know, only approaching the last few years in business. I would have got a big, you know, spreadsheet and I'm all about writing it down, like, so everybody can see it. Sorry, we had a big sheet on the wall and I would have written down like things we were doing, planning, my ideas for that week, what the goals were for that week, maybe targets you want to reach, a key message you want to get out on social that week. So this team meeting will also help you embrace the first point of don't forget about your customer, because if in that meeting you stress to your staff how vital your online audience is now to the success of your business, then your team will know your goals and your team will help support you through that. So if you have a really busy day with customers, but one of your team members are maybe have had a little easier or maybe aren't as busy, they know that your goal this week is to create that certain type of content or get that key message out. They could be and should be supporting you in that and working through that with you and maybe creating that for you when you're so busy. So that's why the team meeting is so important. How can they, if they don't know what you need from them or what you want? So get your team together, set your goals for the week or the month, even for the month, and get them on the same wavelength and explain to them how important this side of things is, the online, the virtual, the social end of things is for keeping your business out there and brand awareness. And I do believe if you get your team on board, then great things happen, because they work for you. They want you to succeed. They want this to be the new way for your business. So let them in. Let them into your crazy mind, because that's what I had to do. And once I did that, once I opened up, things became so much easier and delegation became easier. And I didn't feel like I had to do everything myself, because they took that weight off my shoulders. So have a team meeting, regardless how big or small your business is. And as I said, if it's just you, sit down and work out your plan yourself of how you're going to find time to embrace your both audiences, your face-to-face and your virtual, your online, your digital, whatever you want to call it. So step 1, don't forget about your social media audience. Step 2, have a team meeting so you can plan how not to forget about your social media audience. And then number 3, and if I was still standing in Dungannon today in my shop, this is what I would be doing. I would be seizing every opportunity to collaborate with the businesses around me. So this has always been my passion, and it's something I will always do, and something I believe helps you grow as a business, but also helps you realize what it's all about, what life's all about. Like, yes, we're in business to make money and, you know, to achieve our goals, but it has to make a difference. And it really makes a difference when you start to collaborate with other businesses, and it makes a difference for you, but it makes a difference for them. And together it's like magic. So if you are in a town and there are all businesses opening up next week, get together, collaborate, try to get the people back into your town and give them a reason why. Give them a reason to shop, a reason to come out, a reason to feel safe, a reason to be happy. So, you know, about what's lying ahead and that everything's opening up. So collaborate, collaborate, collaborate. I do believe businesses that have never done this before, believe me, you should. And when you do, you'll be like, why have I not done this? So if it's your next door neighbor and, you know, they sell something, you know, give them a shout out in social, make a plan together to create an offer to bring people in, you know, no matter how random it may be. Like when I was in Dungannon, my next door neighbor was McSorley's Hardware on one side and Stuart's Music Shop on the other. I always tried to do things with them. So McSorley's Hardware, I'm not joking you, I bought them out of cable ties every time I was doing a window display, and I always involved them in that and just going to McSorley's here and tag them and maybe, you know, show what I use cable ties for. I know that might sound simple, but like a silly little example, but honestly, that is filtering another person's business to your audience. And also Stuart's Music Shop, if I was having an event or planning something, I would have involved them. Can we have street music? Can we do something together? You know, the jewelers, McCall's Jewelers was down the street. I would have always tried to embrace them. So if you are in a town and you're planning to open up, get together with your retailers, because this is going to be a hard time for everyone, like, to get footfall on our streets again, I believe. You know, it's going to be a challenging time is really what I should say. We need to make our customers feel safe in our towns, feel like there's something worthwhile coming in for. And how will they know if we don't tell them? And if you guys don't all get together and say, look, we are a fantastic town. This is what we have to offer. This is the amazing coffee shop that's right next door to me. Come and have some beautiful coffee here and also visit us. You know, just think outside your box and don't think about you. Think about everyone else. And I think that that's an amazing way to grow and to make a difference. So to recap, I know I said them quite a few times, but 3 steps that I would be doing if I had, if I was reopening again for the first time. My business has still, this side of my business has still kept going. So you know, I'm more talking about opening your doors. If you're opening your doors in the next week, the next 2 weeks, the next month, this is what I would do. I would not forget about my social media audience. Do not, please do not. You've worked so hard in the past year engaging with them and you know, selling to them and talking to them and educating them. Do not forget about them. And then I hear you say, hi, we're going to be so busy. Have a team meeting. If you don't feel your business is worthy of a team meeting, like, oh my God, we've never had a team meeting, we're not big enough for a team meeting, you are. Believe me, you are. Whether it just be you or you have 1 member of staff or 2 member of staff, come together, whether it's virtually or whether it's seats around the desk at the till in the store. Get together and make a plan and support each other in everything that needs to happen. And then my last one is seize every opportunity to collaborate. Oh, this is definitely something I want you guys to do. And if you do, you know, tag me, send me a DM and tell me what you're doing, because this is where I believe the magic happens and helps our towns grow and our communities grow when this happens. So seize every opportunity to collaborate and grow within your own town and your own community. So that's it, guys. That's my kind of breaking the norm from the podcast, my prep for moving forward, letting you know what way the podcast is going to look and how it's going to feel, but also some top tips for this kind of amazing, exciting time we're moving into, but also an uncertain time for so many. I hope you like listening to the tips. I hope you put them into practice. And if you did and you've seen some positives from that, share them with me, send me a message. If you think there was some negatives from it, absolutely. I would love to hear if that doesn't work for your business and there's a reason why. I learn as well when I hear all these things. But I would guarantee if you put 1 or 2 of those into practice, you will definitely feel more organized and more refreshed and more energized for what lies ahead. I want to wish everybody all the best in the next week and the next month. I will obviously be releasing our podcasts weekly, but I probably won't be speaking direct to you like this for another little while. So I just wanted you to know that I'm rooting for you.
it's a crazy flipping year and a half, and you know, who knows what lies ahead, but we're getting back out of this, and we have to be positive and energized for what lies ahead, because we're in business and we love our businesses, and that's why we started this. So good luck to everyone. Stay safe, be positive. We can do this. Let's dig for success, the name of my podcast. And I know everything is going to work out great for so many people, because when you work hard, results come.
Thank you so much for listening to the Dig podcast. If you missed anything, we've made some show notes with links and all the good stuff we've covered today. Also, don't forget to screenshot this episode and tag Dig for Success so we can reshare on our stories. So remember to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all on the next episode.